Howdy, y'all. It's Reese, aka Bearman Prime, on this September 22nd. Welcome back to my Read the Bible in a Year series. Thanks again for joining me. God bless you all. All right, in the top right hand corner for the rest of the playlist. And please hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell so you stay caught up. All right, so we find ourselves in the point of the story where Jesus is in the clutches of his enemy. He has been arrested on the authority of the Jewish leaders, the religious leaders, and he's been brought before Annas, who is the father-in-law of the high priest Caiaphas, and now he's being brought before Caiaphas himself, along with all the other members of the Jewish High Council or the Sanhedrin. So let's pick it up there. Let's go over to Matthew today, Matthew chapter 26, and start in verse 57. The men who arrested Jesus led him to the house of Caiaphas the high priest. The teachers of the law and the older Jewish leaders were gathered there. Peter followed Jesus, but stayed back at a distance. He followed him to the yard of the high priest's house. Peter went in and sat with the guards. He wanted to see what would happen to Jesus. The leading priests and the high council tried to find something against Jesus so that they could kill him. They tried to find people to lie and say that Jesus had done wrong. Many people came and told lies about him, but the council could find no real reason to kill him. Then two people came and said, "This man said, I can destroy the temple of God and build it again in 3 days." Then the high priest stood up and said to Jesus, "Don't you have anything to say about these charges against you? Are they telling the truth?" But Jesus said nothing. Again the high priest said to Jesus, "You are now under oath. I command you by the power of the living God to tell us the truth. Tell us, are you the Messiah, the Son of God?" Jesus answered, "Yes, that's right. But I tell you, in the future you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right side of God, and you will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven." When the high priest heard this, he tore his clothes in anger. He said, "This man has said things that insult God. We don't need any more witnesses. You all heard his insulting words. What do you think?" The Jewish leaders answered, "He is guilty, and he must die." Then some there spit in Jesus' face, and they hit him with their fists. Others slapped him. They said, "Show us that you are a prophet, Messiah. Tell us who hit you." Verse 69. While Peter was sitting outside in the yard, a servant girl came up to him. She said, "You were with Jesus, that man from Galilee." But Peter told everyone there that this was not true. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. Then he left the yard. At the gate, another girl saw him there and said to the people there, "This man was with Jesus of Nazareth." Again, Peter said he was never with Jesus. He said, "I swear to God, I don't know the man." A short time later, those standing there went to Peter and said, "We know you're one of them. It's clear from the way you talk." And then Peter began to curse. He said, "I swear to God, I don't know the man." As soon as he said this, a rooster crowed. Then he remembered what Jesus had told him. "Before the rooster crows, you will say 3 times that you don't know me." Then Peter went outside and cried bitterly. All right, so what is going on here? Well, we see Jesus, of course, is standing trial before the Jewish High Council called the Sanhedrin. So all of the high priest, the other religious leaders, the teachers of the law, all the people who are supposed to be, the ones that are most knowledgeable about God, who know the scriptures, who are supposed to be leading the nation of Israel in God's ways. They're there, surrounded him, they're asking him, and Caiaphas asks him, well, first off, they try to get people to testify against Jesus. And it's not about finding truth, but it's about looking for an excuse. They try to find people to lie about him, to say whatever they tell them to say. But unfortunately, their stories don't always line up. So there's a lot of contradiction there as God wills it. And so there wasn't a reason there to prosecute Jesus in a way. So then they finally come to the people who say they heard Jesus say that this man said he can destroy the temple and rebuild it in 3 days. Now, point of fact, Jesus was not talking about the physical building of the temple, the actual temple there in Jerusalem. He was referring to himself. Okay? Because remember, our bodies, when we accept Christ, become temples for the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit enters us, and so we become temples of the Spirit, just like the temple in Jerusalem was the temple for the Spirit of God. You remember the cloud, right? And so what he was saying there is that you can destroy me, destroy this temple, but I will raise it again in 3 days. Which is exactly what happened. Of course, they don't know that. They think he's talking about the actual temple. So they're just, what? What? And so the high priest, he asked him, don't you have anything to say for yourself? Do you have anything to say about these charges that are levied against you? And Jesus says, nothing. Because what can he say? He could just stand there and profess his innocence. It's all false. Didn't do it. Are they going to believe him? No. Are they going to listen to him? No. Are they going to let him go? No. So it doesn't matter. So he just says nothing. And then he asks him point blank, on the authority of God, he dared invoke the name of God. In the name of God, tell us if you are the Messiah. And he says, yes, that's right. And it infuriated them. How could this man who has criticized our body of leaders, our teachers, our priests, how could this man who has called us hypocrites and liars and sinners and thieves, how could this man dare say that he is the Son of the living God? And so they're just furious. And that gives them all the conviction and all the evidence they need to put him to death. He is guilty, must die, what they said. And then they just start beating him, spitting on him, treating him horribly, right? That's just going to continue on all the way up to the cross. And then finally, Peter. Oh, poor Peter. He's there. He's trying to, keep his eye on Jesus. He wants to see what's going to happen to him, what's going to happen to his beloved teacher. But when push comes to shove, like we've seen before, he's still human. And when he's asked, hey, aren't you friends with that guy? Nope. Oh, no. Well, no, I think I've seen you over there with him before. You're one of his followers, aren't you? Nope, I don't know the man. No, I'm pretty sure you've been to Galilee with that guy. I swear to God, I don't know the man. And what Jesus foretold was true, and it finally clicked with Peter that he let his fear and his doubt get in the way of his faith. He did what anyone else would do in that situation, where he just denied and just like, no, I have nothing to do with this. Don't hurt me. And it just broke him. So sad. Well, that's all for today. We're going to pick it up there tomorrow. Thank you again for joining me. I sure do appreciate it. I'll see y'all tomorrow.